Hey y'all, it's Herschel, aka Rachel. And I could totally make this whole fucking video on on my video camera and shit, make it all professional, but honestly, I just feel like I truly need to get this out. Like I just I don't know, I just really feel like I need to get this out of my system, out of my head. Because honestly, as you can tell, I'm a senior in high school and I'm about to graduate in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. And there's a lot that I think I need to let go of. So that's what I'm going to do. This has been bothering me for so long. I journaled about it a lot and ended up talking to my therapist a lot about it. And everything that's just been really going through my mind about this has just led me to wanting to upload this video. And this is the story of my emotional abuse, my experience with it, people, or not people, like someone who caused a lot of my depression, who just really hurt me and has caused a lot of damage to my mental health to the point where I just don't know if I'll ever be the same as I was when I was 12 or 11 or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um, this person it wholeheartedly believe was one of the main causes to my depression, and she's a big reason why I feel like I annoy everyone. I have trust issues. Yada yada yada. Is that lipstick? No, it's not lipstick. Okay, it's just shadow. It all started when, let's kind of go back to when I just entered middle school. I was in 6th grade. I didn't have a lot of friends. Not a lot of people wanted to talk to me. I guess I was the outcast kid. And then it just made me feel so lonely. And I got kind of bullied too, so it didn't really help with the whole thing. But I basically just got so. I don't want to say I got brutally bullied because it really wasn't as bad as I'm trying to make it seem. Like, people just would make fun of me, laugh at me, make fun of me. I already said make fun of me, didn't I? But yeah. But yeah, you get the gist. So I entered 7th grade feeling like things were just going to get worse for me. I was just going to get lonelier and lonelier and lonelier. But like my home life was pretty good. I still think it's pretty good. I don't have a lot wrong with my home life at the moment. I have two awesome parents. I have a great family, and I'm grateful for that. Absolutely, totally grateful for that. But yeah, um, sorry, I'm just checking the time. um, but basically, I entered 7th grade, like, feeling really grateful for everything, but I was still kind of lonely at school. Didn't really have anyone to talk to, whatever. And then I got my first desktop computer. And I decided to go on YouTube a lot. I went on YouTube way more than I should have as a kid. I was 12 years old and I create a YouTube account. And I joined this community, and judging by the amount of subscribers I have, a lot of you probably know what community I was a part of. I'm not going to mention it because I don't feel like it. I just really don't want to. It brings back a lot of memories that I've been trying to repress. But basically, this community, people would upload videos all the time, and based on that community, and it was really fun. It was just a really fun community. I wasn't making videos myself yet, but I was watching them a lot when I was at the beginning of 7th grade, when I was just 12 years old. I didn't even have my actual YouTube channel. My YouTube account was just my name. That was it. So I stumbled upon this one person who I started commenting a lot with, and I just really loved their videos. I was kind of a fan of them. And then that was that. Then I never really spoke to them after that. And then after that, I saw someone else in the comments and I started chatting with them in the comments. Like, YouTube was just honestly a huge chat room at that time. So I was just chatting away with them, getting in fights with like stupid haters, like stupid little like YouTube accounts that are made by probably old men or little kids. And it's just like haters or whatever. You know what I mean? And it was an interesting time. And then there's this one girl who I started chatting with a lot. And then I ended up becoming friends with her. And she was my very first internet friend. I honestly don't even remember where she lives, but we started chatting a lot. I started video calling her a lot. My mom knew about it and everything, but we were just video calling a lot, just having a good time. I was 12 years old and I was just having time in my life. And then she introduced me to this girl that I was a fan of, that I was commenting to a lot. And let's call her Bella. Bella was Bella's my dog's name, lol. But anyways, Bella would write to me a lot, and then we ended up becoming friends, and then like later on I stopped being friends with my first internet friend ever. Like, we just kind of, I guess, grew apart or whatever. We just stopped talking after like a month or so. And I ended up talking with this new girl, Bella, a lot. And I always told her how much I loved her videos, and we just started to get along a lot. She ended up actually introducing me to my best friend of today, and I am totally grateful for that because her and I are just like so fucking close now. It's like insane. But anyways, back to Bella. So Bella introduced me to a bunch of other internet friends, and we were always Skyping, we were always talking, and it was just fun, And I thought everything would just be, rainbows and butterflies. And I told her my age. She knew my age. I was 12 years old. And it started to kind of go downhill from there. She ended up kind of telling me about her depression and her self-harm issues, and she started talking about suicide like a lot. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to vent to someone, but you gotta remember, I was 12 years old. Like, and she was not 12. She was 14 at the time, I believe, yeah. And she was a freshman in high school. That's when I met her. So she was 14 years old and a freshman in high school. And I was 12 years old and I just started 7th grade. I did not know much about the whole realm of suicide. And then she started showing me all these pages where people would post themselves self-harming, slitting their wrists, showing like themselves and their suicide plans, and it was just so like messed up. Like, I was young and impressionable, and I started to think maybe that's how I need to be to fit in with her. I need to be depressed too. I need to be suicidal. I need to start self harming. And from there on, I just, I followed in her footsteps because I was so young and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to help her. I was a kid. And it's just, it was just crazy for me. Like, I had no idea. And I was trying to sympathize with her. I was trying to comfort her the best I could, but it was just so hard because I was a kid and she was a teenager with her own problems. And I haven't even gotten my period yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I barely began puberty. And this girl was already, like, talking to me about suicide, depression, cutting yourself, blood, crazy. And I was just a kid. This is the first time I was introduced to these topics. And that is absolutely not how anyone should be first introduced to these topics. And I tried to comfort her the best I could. But then it started really affecting me. Like, sometimes she would call me and she would say shit like, I'm about to go out in the ring, get struck by lightning. I'm about to like just kill myself right now. Goodbye, everyone. Just constantly threatening suicide. It was just constant. Like, almost, I'd say once a week she was doing this. Once a week. Once every 2 weeks if I'm lucky. I'm not trying to be an asshole at all, but that just traumatized me so much. And it hurt me because I didn't know what the hell to do. I really didn't know what to do. I just felt so lost. I felt so hopeless. I felt like I was on the edge of just losing it. And I ended up being like, if you kill yourself, I'll kill myself too. And that was enough to make her stop doing it for a while. And I also, because I was Catholic, and I still am pretty religious, kind of. I'm working on it. But I would say, because what I learned in Bible study is that you will go to purgatory if you kill yourself. That's what I learned myself. I'm not saying that that's what I believe now, but that's what I was convinced as when I was a child. And that's what I believed at the time. So I would tell her, like, Bella, don't kill yourself. You'll go to purgatory and you won't go to heaven. And I think that was enough to make her not do it for a while. And then later on, I tried to give her that same threat, and then she was like, I don't care anymore. So it didn't even work anymore. So I was out of options on trying to help her, and I just felt so lost. And I started ignoring her when she said, like, I want to die. I feel like I want to die. Like, I ended up trying to ignore her after that because I just didn't know what the hell to do. That I just felt like if I said something, it would make it worse, which sometimes it did. So I didn't want to cause anything. And here's where it started to get kind of abusive, I'd say. If the other part wasn't abusive enough. I'm not saying that her trying to vent to me was abuse at all. People vent to me all the time, and I try and help them, and yeah. So, sorry, I have the sniffles. But basically, I tried to talk to her as much as I could, but then there's some days where, my mom wanted to take me out to get a pedicure, a manicure, or whatever, go out, or maybe one of my other internet friends, because I didn't really have any friends in school at the time. So maybe one of my internet friends wanted to call me. But like, yeah, this Bella would want to call me like almost every single day. Like, and it was fun, it was awesome, but sometimes I would want to call another friend. And then when Bella would say, "Hey, I want to call you right now," or "Let's call, let's talk, let's chat," I would say, I can't. I'm on the phone with someone. I'm calling one of my other internet friends right now. And then she would just get so angry and just ignore me and just pissed off. Like, she would just get so furious with me and angry with me if I was talking to someone that wasn't her. Like, she basically said, like, "Oh, you don't care about me. Oh, you don't want to talk to me." Or she would just get so furious with me if I was talking to someone else that wasn't her. Like, she was jealous. And sometimes when my mom would take me out and I'd tell her, "Hey, I'm out with my mom," she would be like, "Oh, okay. Call me when you're home." So, because I wanted to talk to other internet friends that weren't her, but I didn't want to upset her. Because one time, I upset her so much that she like blocked me for like an hour or two. And I was just crying. My mom had to come in and comfort me. And I felt like I did something terrible to her. And she would be like, "Oh, now I want to kill myself, blah, blah, blah." And I would just be so hurt. I would feel like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the one that makes her depressed. I'm this, I'm that." Like, I just felt so like hurt. And then all because I wanted to talk to someone else for like a bit. And it was just ridiculous. And so whenever one of my internet friends wanted to call me, I would tell Bella that I was out. Like, if she said, "Hey, I want to call," but I was going to call with someone else, I would lie to her and say, "I'm out. I'm out with my mom," or "I'm out the store right now." And end up getting to a point where Belle would say, "Why are you always out? Why are you always out? Like, why can't we talk? Like, just call me at the store," or something like that. And so I ended up having to just cut off like almost all of my other internet friends except her. Like, she wouldn't let me talk to anyone except her. And I remember her like making me feel so guilty one time that she would just that it was my birthday party and some of my classmates showed up and a few of my friends from elementary school showed up. And she got really mad at me, and it just made me feel so sad on my birthday. It was my 13th birthday, and I just felt so bad. Fast forward to 8th grade. I was still dealing with this. I dealt with this for 2.5 years. And it just felt so painful for me. And she would just, and I remember she would send me DMs every single day. She would send me and some other internet friends like multiple DMs a day. And if I didn't respond to each and every one of them, she would just get so furious with me the same way she would if I was talking to someone that wasn't her. And she would make me feel bad, and it got so bad my mom tried to take away my phone a bunch of times, but I would beg her not to, because if I didn't respond to one of her DMs, she would hate me. And she made me feel like I needed her. It got so so bad. So, yeah. So during 8th grade, while this was going on, I was starting to get a lot of anxiety, and she started making me feel so utterly depressed that near the end of 7th grade, going into 8th grade, I started self-harming because Bella made me feel like that's what I needed to do. So that's what I ended up doing. And then my mom found out, and they ended up having to, get a talk about it, and it was just not good at all. So I ended up having to stop, and then one day she just went offline, and she never went back online again. And for so long I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. And my mom wondered why I was so upset all the time. It was because I felt like I needed her in my life. She made me feel like if I wasn't talking to her, I was a shitty person. So when she went offline, all I could think was, what happened to her? What if she killed herself? And then one day she went online, and my parents ended up saying they were going to go on a business trip where she lived. So I told her that. I told her I was going to tag along with them. And so we made this whole plan to meet up. And keep in mind, for the past 2 years, she was always saying that she cut herself, that she cut herself on the arm, whatever. And so I flew out to where she lived and ended up meeting up with her. She came to my hotel, and we ended up meeting up. And when I hugged her, there were no self-harm scars at all. We ended up hanging out, and it was a really good time, but I left that place questioning everything. Everything. There were some points, and I think this was when I was 12. She texted me that she was on the roof of her school, and she would say, I'm on the roof of my school, and I would be like, why? Why are you there? What's going on? I was just a curious 12-year-old, and she would say, I feel like jumping off. I'm going to jump off. And it was things like this that sent me into panic attacks, frenzies, begging her, pleading with her while I'm bawling my eyes out, screaming at the top of my lungs in my room. My parents were concerned. I would beg my parents to call 911, but they said they didn't know where she lived at the time, so they couldn't. This girl took over my life, and it just got so out of hand. She got me to a point where I believed that having depression was normal. So I ended up I ended up acting so depressed, and she just made me feel so depressed. I ended up developing depression. I have depression. I take antidepressants. Sorry, my parents are playing music upstairs, but I ended up actually having to get medically treated for depression. And for so long, I believed maybe it was just me. Maybe I did something wrong. It took me, after that, so many years. But anyways, back to the whole thing. So I left after that just questioning everything. Like, has she been lying to me? Has she been what's going on? She had no scars on her arms at all. So I ended up going home. And then we didn't speak for like a month after that. And then right after that, I ended up, her and my best friend of today were in a group chat. And she was just complaining about life, and I just ended up lashing out at her, saying, please, stop complaining about your life. Stop, please. And I just went off on her on everything she put me through. And then she went offline. And I didn't hear from her ever again. She sometimes still pops up in my DMs a bit and just asks and just gives me an update on her life, but she basically made it clear that we weren't friends anymore, and I was totally fine with that. Absolutely fine with that, because she just put me under so much pressure, and I couldn't take it anymore. Later on, it was just, I ended up going to therapy for my anxiety and depression. And this was the summer after 8th grade, so it was 2015, so it took me 4 years to be told that that was emotional abuse. I ended up telling my therapist about that this whole story, and she told me, you were emotionally abused. That was emotional abuse. She emotionally abused you. And it's weird because I always thought maybe that's just something that's in relationships. That's something that only boyfriends and girlfriends or husbands or whatever, husbands and wives have, or people in a relationship. It's always something significant others do. But I had to learn that friends can do it too. And it can happen to anyone. She one time, Bella, DM'd me saying that I was a big cause of her depression and I made it worse. And I just couldn't fucking believe it, because she was one of the main she was the beginning of my downfall until I started taking antidepressants and getting on the road to recovery. Like, I'm still dealing with depression today, and it's so fucking hard. I will say that right now, it is so fucking hard to deal with depression. It's just so hard for me. I'm not trying to sound like I'm looking for pity. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. Or to whoever fucking's watching this video. Depression is so hard to deal with for me. And in all honesty, I think she was a very big cause of it, because that is when she started emotionally abusing me. That is when she started. That's when everything just started to go downhill. That's when my mental health started to decline. That's when I lost my self-esteem. That's when I just didn't feel like me anymore. I'm still finding it really hard for me to become me again. It took so fucking long to get over this. And I'm still trying to get over it. And I just realized I'm going off to college soon. And I honestly need to let go. 2 days ago, I received a letter in the mail from an old 5th grade teacher of mine. Or someone that works at my elementary school. Sorry, I burped. And it was a letter that I wrote to my older self when I was in 5th grade, and they called it From Childhood Rachel. And I read it. And it just hurt me because I was so happy and I had so much faith in myself. And at the end of the letter it said, I bet you're going to college soon. I hope you have a great life. Love, childhood Rachel. And it just helped me learn that, like, past me is congratulating me now. And honestly, it just really inspired me to make this video because I need to learn to let go. I could have totally made this on my video camera and made this more professional, but honestly, I just feel like I need to get this out. If you are struggling with anything similar to this, whether it's in real life, online, with a significant other, with a friend, with a best friend, whatever, please get out of that friendship, relationship, whatever. Get out of that. Because the longer you stay in it, the worse your mental health is going to decline. I had to learn that the hard way. And Bella, if you know your real name, Bella, if you're watching this, we had a lot of great memories. We had a lot of laughs. We also cried a lot together. But what you did to me was something that was very unforgivable. And I think it'll take me a while, but for now I'm just going to say that I love you and I let you go. That was a stupid 13 Reasons Why quote, but it's true. Bella, I love you and I let you go. I wish the best for your mental health and I wish for you to get better. I hope that you're better now and I hope you're not doing this to other people. I really, really hope you're not doing this to other people. So this is my video telling my story and saying that I am letting Bella go. And I'm letting a lot of shit go. I'm probably going to start my channel kind of over and make this more of a beauty channel / mental health channel, whatever, and upload whenever the fuck I feel like it. So yeah. So that's my video, and I hope this inspired you to leave an emotionally abusive friendship, relationship, whatever, because I do not want you guys to be put in the same situation I was. And if you're in 7th grade and you're watching this and you are in such a similar situation, get out of it, like, right now, because it'll only get worse. Alright. I let it go. It was really hard for me because we had a lot of memories together. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this really did inspire you. And it just helps just let it out in front of a camera. Well, webcam to be exact. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching.